what a difference a day makes. And although these aren't the doves of peace, not yet anyway, the mood is transformed. Put simply, the revolution feels it is winning, irrigated by the blood of yesterday's martyrs. First of all, they feel that the sacrifice is paid off, in yards of turf captured from the government side. The political map of Kiev is being redrawn with barricades every day. So here you have some idea of how far the barricades have advanced. Yesterday this was still in police hands, and now they've pushed all the way back right up to the government buildings. You've got the central bank, you've got one of the ministries, you've got the actual seat of the government over there on the left. All that is now surrounded by the protesters. They've really gained a lot of ground. They've also gained morale. We came across this troop of security forces from western Ukraine. They had left their posts to join the revolution. Every day the protesters look more exhausted, but feel more confident. They may seem relaxed, but compromise is not on their minds. I asked the most mild-mannered protester I could find what he thought of the agreement, which would allow President Yanukovych to stay in office, albeit in a diminished role, until December. Alexander is a professor of literary stylistics, whatever that is. There will be elections in December at the end of the year.
No, it's totally unacceptable. No one will accept it.
Unacceptable?
Totally unacceptable. Totally unacceptable.
Why? Too late.
Because it will be too late, and it seems like Mr. Yanukovych is trying to buy the time.
And if that's his opinion, well, you can imagine what the hard men of the revolution think. Off to our hotel to meet one of the agreement's brokers, Poland's foreign minister. We've just been down to the square and we've talked to people about the draft agreement, and they're not happy at all. And what I wonder is whether you think the opposition leaders even have the authority to sell a compromise to the people who are in a fairly excitable state of mind.
Well, I hope they persuade them, because this is the best deal there is. And the nature of such situations is that, and particularly here when so many people have died, is that of course some people will want more. But I genuinely believe that the result of last night's negotiations is the best deal there is.
If the deal is not accepted by the people, by the square, and the violence erupts again, and there are reports right now of shooting outside Parliament, what are the stakes then? What happens then?
We are back, on our way back to the presidential palace now. I'll be conferring with my EU colleague, the German Foreign Minister Frank-Walter Steinmeier. I hope wiser counsels prevail.
But if this falls apart, what are the consequences?
I dare not think.
Civil war?
Thanks.
The consequence that dares not speak its name but is on everyone's mind. His next stop, the presidential palace. There, a meeting with reluctant opposition leaders and this stark warning.
You'll all be dead.
You'll all be dead if you don't sign. A dose of bitter reality that worked. And at about the same time in Parliament, a taste of why any deal may be hard to implement, and a foretaste of the mess that lies in wait for any future government. A brawl in a bitterly divided chamber. In a festive room with a glum atmosphere, the leaders of the opposition, the EU foreign ministers and the president all sat down to sign the agreement. Mr. Yanukovych looked as if he was putting a pen to his own political death certificate. He may feel hard done by, but outside on the street, where it counts, the crowd think that the president is literally getting away with murder. At the cathedral-turned-field hospital, I bumped into Elena, the English teacher, who now works as a nurse.
Our hearts crying for those who are killed here, for those, or for every wound which was, which was on our people, boys, girls, who are lost for us.
Elections a little bit early in December. Yanukovych still stays in power, maybe a coalition government. Is that enough for you?
It is not enough for us. Our victory is to have elections right now. Impeachment of Yanukovych. Nobody wants some leech on the body of our people here.
Leech on the body of your people.
Yeah.
So the onus is now on the leaders of the opposition to sell an imperfect deal to a crowd that have become master barricade builders and feel they have paid for their commitment in blood. From everything we heard today, it won't be easy to say the least, but so much hangs on it.